Hey everyone, it's Eddie Sanchez, and welcome to EWritesPodcast. Today we're going to be talking about making it in Hollywood and what it actually means. If you're into that kind of stuff, stay tuned. All right, guys, let's get into it. So, making it in Hollywood. What does it mean? It's not what you think it is. Okay. So, I mean, a lot of people don't even have to be in Hollywood. I met a writer in Rhode Island. He goes and he does projects. Whenever he has to go out to Hollywood, he does. But he pretty much can work from home. And a lot of people do. Like, I'm in New York. I don't have to go to LA all the time. But if there's a job, I will be there. What I want you guys to keep in mind is there's no such thing as I made it or and made it into Hollywood, whatever the case, however you look at it, right? I made it. It's not what it seems like. Okay. So what you'll notice is you'll see somebody that's famous, maybe from the 80s, 90s, or whatever, maybe 2000, right? And then all of a sudden you see them being homeless, right? Because the simple fact, one, they could have had a drug problem or something like that. That happens a lot in Hollywood. People have drug problems. They go off the rail. They derail their career by taking drugs or whatever the case might be. It happens a lot to children who are actors, young. They can't handle the pressure, I guess, of being famous. A lot of people have had from drug overdose or end up on the streets. A lot of people. Anyway, so making it in Hollywood isn't straightforward what you might think it is, okay? You see these famous people on TV and you're thinking to yourself, wow, I want to be just like them. But there's a few things that you need to think about when you're thinking about making Hollywood. One, it's a business, right? Or a job. You always have to be working. So I might have worked a job and it's like a month or 3 weeks or whatever the case might be. I'll get a salary. Let's say you get a salary. You have to manage that money. Because you may not get another job for maybe a year, or 6 months, or whatever the case might be, or maybe just a month. I don't know. Anyway, you have to budget your money very well. So that's the one thing. Okay. Um, Even people when they say they're making it, it's because they're constantly working, and you see them on TV. That's really what making it is. You're constantly working. When you don't hear from somebody, from an actor, they're not making money. So again, it goes back to one, invest your money wisely. Uh, Ryan Reynolds, right? Great example. He How many things does he do, right? He has that the cell phone company. He has other kinds of stream of income coming in. He's not just depending on acting itself. Okay, so you can say he made it because he's constantly working, right? The second you're not working, that's it. You're not in Hollywood anymore, right? Hollywood, like I said before, I just want to make sure if you're new and you're starting out that you get the full idea of what it is. Hollywood is a business. It's a job. If you're a producer, you're working because your people are paying you to manage your project, right? That's what I do most of the time. What I'll do is I'll help managing a project. You might have separate producers. One producer manages the budget. Another deals with SAG and union stuff. Like I usually do SAG and union stuff, right? Um, so, but that doesn't mean I'm working all the time, unless I'm working for a series. Let's say like a Friends series, or just for example, some Friends, right? It was there for over 10 years or whatever the case might be. So they made a lot of money so they can afford not to be working all the time. But a lot of them stayed working, right? A lot of them. But again, look what happened to Matthew Perry. He was dealing with addiction while he was making all this money and all these shows, right? I don't even know how he functioned with all the drug habits that he had. But he spent a lot of money on drugs. Again, you wouldn't know that because again, the way you see Hollywood is it's like a picture. You see it as a picture. Oh wow, it looks so pretty. Because that's what people show you, the nice side of it. Do you really see the bad side of it? Do you see these celebrities when they're broke and they're on the streets and they're homeless? Okay, that's due to poor money management. So again, part of making it in the industry is one, to keep working, two, manage your money well. Another example is Wesley Snipes. He's one of my favorite actors. He had a little bit of tax problems, right? I don't know what the situation was, but again, he had to pay back taxes. It's not always as simple as it seems that, like, okay, you get paid, you pay taxes. Okay, there's all kinds of complications, which I'm not going to get into. But when you get paid, you're usually responsible for your paying your own taxes. You have to hire an accountant to help you pay these taxes. Very simple. But it isn't when you're making millions and millions of dollars, which I don't make, right? But just keep in mind, it's not as straightforward as you might think. Again, it's a nice dream to sell somebody. When I hear actors saying they want to go to LA, okay, you can go to LA, but have a plan, have a job. I know that's why you hear a lot of actors becoming waiters. Do you want to know why? Because they need to make a living while they are becoming famous, or maybe never making it to a big star. I don't know. The thing with Hollywood is, right, it's really like a lottery. Think of it as a lottery. Some people get lucky, some people don't. Okay, there's so many actors out there, so many talented actors out there, and once they get a big role, they make money. Then it's how they manage that money and how they, maybe associate with other people. You have to talk to other people, and maybe you'll get another role. All these famous people, they talk to other people, to the directors, and that's how they go from role to role. And that's how you see them on different movies and different projects. Look at Morgan Freeman. He's a great example. He's a good role model. He's been in countless movies, and he's so good at it. Again, I don't think he has any money problems managing his money, because I'm sure he has a team that helps him manage all this stuff. Okay, so those are the people that are making it. Again, they're working consistently. That's what making it is. But it's not as easy as it seems. Don't just go to LA without a plan, without money. You'll end up in the street like all the other actors I've seen being in the streets, right? That don't have any money. Have a plan. Okay, don't just head out to Hollywood. Okay, so this is really what I wanted to talk about for new people that are trying to get into the film industry. You have to be really resilient. Okay, don't give up. It's not easy, right? But you can do it. It's not impossible. So try to meet as many people as possible. When you go to LA, it's not like you're gonna be like, oh, this is this guy's house, and you can go up to him and say hi. No, again, you have to have a plan. You have to set up meetings before you get out there. Again, don't just go out there. Maybe get a job while you're trying to go to auditions and things like that. It's complicated. Like, I went out there, I did a show like many years ago, and again, you get paid very little money, but that's just what it is to build your resume when you're starting out. Even as a producer, you don't want to just go out there, and start hunting for jobs. You might want to, like, apply before you even get out there. That's just, again, it's a business. I want you guys to understand that it's not as easy as you might think. When you see somebody consistently on the TV, it's because, one, they're really good at managing their money. Two, they're really good at talking to other people, which you have to be. And you have to be resilient. You have to have thick skin, and you can't take no for an answer. If you're going to be successful, you're going to make it regardless, right? But just keep going forward. Don't let people tell you you can't do it. It is possible. And lastly, don't believe people when they say, they're going to do something for you. Unless somebody signs a contract, don't believe people. That's simple. Okay? Very simple. All right. I'm not going to make this very long, because I wanted to be insightful, but yet not go on for forever and ever. I want to keep these podcasts fairly short to give you guys information. If you guys have questions, drop a comment down below. Don't forget, it's free to subscribe to my podcast. I'm on Apple Podcasts. I'm on Spotify. So if you guys want to subscribe, I'll put a link down below. Again, it's free to subscribe. As always, thank you guys so much. I will see you guys on the next podcast. Thank you.